So Liam and I were getting different quotes and meeting with a lot of different sort of development agencies to kind of turn our idea into a software, into an actual functioning, valuable business. We met with a lot of different agencies. People can show you past work. You can get better prices by whether going offshore or keeping it, in the States, domestic. But the biggest thing that you kind of want to look for, what we were looking for, was somebody who had the experience for performing the end goal of what we were looking for. We were trying to build something that we can sell. So what we found with MPH was a lot of value in go-to-market strategies or sort of tax strategies and incorporating in the beginning to kind of plan for the future of whether you wanted to keep this as a cash cow or keep this as something you wanted to exit in the future. So there's a lot of value add with MPH since they had plenty of experience themselves with software companies that they've created and exited, and also with multiple other clients that they've helped upbring from, an idea to a full scaling operation that they ended up exiting for, multiple 7, 8, 9 figures, stuff like that. So that's usually someone should be looking for rather than just like a dollar cost price of getting an idea created into a software. And that's something that's really helped us along the way from the beginning up until the point where we're at now. That's why we ultimately ended up going with MPH. We haven't been disappointed at all. The designs are great. Everything from analytics and little tweaks here and there, very responsive, a large team with great communication. That's kind of helped us with everything. It's definitely somebody that I would recommend giving a shot for your idea, turning it into a full-scale operation.
So when we were looking for a development team, we chose to go with MPH for a few reasons, I think, when we were shopping around with other developers. So one, we were looking for a partner. We weren't just looking for a software vendor that we could just give a list of requirements and we wouldn't talk to them until the product was delivered. We wanted someone essentially to be on our team to give us feedback, to tell us what they thought was a good idea, what wasn't a good idea based on their experience. And out of everybody we interviewed, MPH was the only company that even discussed a role like that. We were also looking for a sense of professionalism. The overall project management strategy with MPH compared to other proposals we got was night and day. We had frequent meetings. They made it very clear we were going to have dedicated project managers and really get the attention that we needed to make our idea become a functional software and a functional software business. And the last thing is probably trustworthiness. That's probably one of the hardest things as a business owner or someone who's an entrepreneur, finding someone to develop software when you've never done it before. Can you trust this person if you've never worked with them? So the ability for us to meet Mike and his team, to meet his developers, his designers, his QA team, and not just know that there's people in the background working, to actually meet them on calls, see their faces, and know there's a whole team working really gives you a sense of trustworthiness that we didn't get with anybody else.
The building process of our idea with MPH has been phenomenal, especially with the ease of communication with Mike and his entire team. So there's a large team that's consistently working every day and night on different comments and tweaks that we're looking to do. And we have regularly scheduled meetings with the entire development team, me and Liam, including Mike, and they go over a wide array of every little piece that they've done, why they've done it, what they've seen, any kind of errors or bugs that they're trying to fix, open ones, closed ones, new features, new visuals, stuff like that. It's an entire book, multiple pages, 40, 50, 60 plus different pages that we look at and go over together as a team. Afterwards, we get provided with wireframe documents on XD where we can make little bits and comments of every little bit and piece that has been created and changed over the coming weeks. So it really gives us a lot of accessibility and timeliness with a lot of these changes. I'd say the number one thing is definitely the communication, because we also have an offline chat where we'll ask any sort of questions, whether there was something that came up, we need to go over something, or we ask a question. We always get timely responses, whether it's in the morning or during the nighttime. It doesn't really matter what day of the week. We always get answers as soon as possible and very detailed answers. Everyone's always offering, an open hand to help. And it's just been a great experience so far.
The wireframe process that MPH uses has been really beneficial for my business partner, Jesse, and I. Essentially, the wireframe, what it is they put the suggested or draft design on the Adobe XD file, and you get to see what your software actually is going to look like when it's in its live environment. You can make comments, you can ask questions on specific designs, and it lets you and the developers really get on the same page. That way, there's really no guesswork, because one of the biggest issues you have is having an idea in your head as a business owner, wanting it developed, but maybe the developers don't see it exactly the same way you do. So the ability for us to make comments and see exactly what they plan on building has been great for us, and it's something we've really enjoyed, as it takes out a lot of the guesswork when you're designing a new software. So I really appreciate the wireframe process that MPH put together.
For most people, when they're looking at offshore agencies to help develop their product, there's usually one thing that's, in the back of their head: the language barrier. That they can be fluent in English. Is there going to be communication issues? Or they're not going to be able to understand certain things that I'm trying to explain? Because the whole idea of kind of getting a development agency is turning an idea into a product. And that hasn't been the case at all with MPH. The communication and fluency in English has been off the charts. We've spoken with multiple other offshore agencies, and we always felt like there was a bit of a barrier. Whether you had trouble, understanding them on a call, or you're typing out a long email, or they reply in an email, and there's certain barriers, as you could tell, when you're trying to explain what you're trying to accomplish. And I think that's super important. We didn't see that as an issue with MPH, and it hasn't been thus far. Very quick and fast communication. Everybody's extremely intelligent on the team. You can ramble on about a creative thought or idea of what you're trying to do, and they'll get it and understand it right away and help you turn that right into a code for your software. So this is something that's super important. I think it's very hard to find this at many offshore agencies. I think you're going to have a lot of difficulty kind of getting your thoughts onto paper and communicating it over with most of these. And that's definitely the biggest value add that MPH has, is that we never experienced that thus far.
When we were initially looking for a software development team to do our work, my business partner, Jesse, and I were obviously very concerned with essentially communication. Will there be a language barrier? Will they understand exactly what we're looking for? Will we be able to talk to them on a daily, weekly, monthly basis effectively? Will that be such a big issue that it affects our results? We were very pleasantly surprised to meet and start working with Mike's team at MPH. Great English, very fast communicators. They answer emails extremely fast. WhatsApp messages, seems like within hours, depending on the time, maybe even minutes. Very professional, always addressing you with extreme professionalism, and overall very cost-effective way to get top quality results. Probably very comparable, if not better, than what you would get near shore for us for being in the United States. So if I were looking for a development company, I would definitely recommend working with the folks at MPH. They're great people, great communicators, and couldn't recommend them.
If you're looking to turn an idea into the product that you've dreamed of creating but didn't know how, I definitely recommend looking for an opportunity with MPH. If you want a cost-effective way of creating a product with a highly communicative team, I would definitely recommend going through MPH. You're going to get the same, if not better, results of paying 3 to 4 times if you went through a nearshore United States agency with a team that has a long track record of experience and high professionalism, and I would go with MPH.